Cyber threats are constantly evolving, and let's face it, they're creating some serious new risks for small and medium-sized enterprises.
Today, we're going to explore three key areas: the CIA triad, common cloud threats, and finally, insider threats, including the ever-growing issue of shadow IT.
Section 1. The CIA triad. These are absolutely your core concepts in information security.
Think of the CIA triad as the foundational framework for evaluating your security systems. It boils down to three key principles. First up, confidentiality, which just ensures that only authorized users can actually access sensitive data. Then we have integrity, meaning your data stays completely accurate and unchanged. And finally, availability, which guarantees your systems are accessible whenever you need them. For SMEs operating in the cloud, these aren't just IT buzzwords. They are literally the pillars that keep your daily operations safe, stable, and reliable.
Let's dive a bit deeper into confidentiality. In a cloud environment, this is all about making sure only the right people can access your data, even when it's sitting on shared remote servers. To pull this off, organizations rely on things like encryption, strict access controls, identity and access management, or IAM, and of course, multi-factor authentication. A really great example here is the AWS Key Management Service, which actually lets you control your own encryption keys. Now, why does this matter so much for you? Well, SMEs routinely handle highly sensitive customer and financial data. A breach here doesn't just mean a regulatory fine, it can mean a permanent loss of customer trust.
Moving right along to integrity. This is about ensuring your data remains reliable, consistent, and protected against any unauthorized tweaks. We enforce this using specific technical tools. Think checksums, digital signatures, cryptographic hashes, certificate authorities, and naturally, regular backups. It also requires comprehensive monitoring. For instance, you might use Google Cloud audit logs to keep a permanent record of all administrative activities. Think of it like this: perfectly accurate data is the bedrock of your decision-making. If that integrity gets compromised, it quickly leads to a cascade of bad business decisions and some pretty severe regulatory failures.
And that brings us to our final pillar: availability. Look, your data is really only valuable if you can actually get to it when you need it, right? In the cloud, we maintain this availability through a layered defense strategy. We're talking redundancy, load balancing, failover systems, distributed architecture, and robust DDoS protection. Cloud providers actually offer specialized infrastructure just for this. Take Azure Availability Zones, for example. They use physically separated data centers to absolutely guarantee uptime. For an SME, even a tiny window of system downtime literally translates to immediate lost revenue and incredibly frustrated customers.
Section 2. Common cloud threats. Let's look at the vulnerabilities hiding in SME infrastructure.
We're going to start with phishing. Criminals will use emails targeting usernames and passwords, phone calls, which we call vishing, text messages known as smishing, or even highly targeted whaling attacks on executives, all to try and trick your employees into handing over the keys to the network. Because SMEs often lack massive dedicated cybersecurity teams, they're really prime targets for this. You've got to train your team to spot the suspicious signs. We're talking generic greetings, artificially urgent language, and those sneaky identical domains that are literally just one letter off from the real thing. Your absolute best practice here: enforce multi-factor authentication everywhere, maintain strict credential hygiene, and run regular training.
Now, a lot of the time, a phishing attack is just a doorway for something much more destructive: ransomware. Ransomware maliciously locks up your files, keeping them hostage until a payment is made. And there are several types out there, from crypto ransomware and scareware to full system lockers. Honestly, it's gotten worse. Today, criminals are actually using ransomware as a service, or RAS, literally buying prepackaged malware right off the dark web. So what are the warning signs? Look out for unusual file extensions popping up or security software that's suddenly been disabled. You absolutely have to be proactive here with your defenses. That means executing rigorous offline backups, making sure you use VPNs for remote access, and strictly segmenting your network.
Now, a lot of the major vulnerability is misconfiguration. This is simply the incorrect setup of your cloud software. Surprisingly, this massive cause of data breaches is almost entirely self-inflicted. It usually stems from unpatched systems and default settings or passwords that nobody bothered to change. If you're noticing anomalies like open firewalls or missing audit logs, you've definitely got a warning sign of a misconfiguration issue on your hands. To get rid of these blind spots, you need to follow best practices. Actively run security audits, employ cloud security posture management, or CSPM tools, and always enforce the principle of least privilege. Section 3. Insider threat and shadow IT. It's time to look inward at internal security risks. An insider threat is a hidden security risk that actually originates from trusted users. We're talking your own employees, former staff, or even third-party vendors. Because they're logging in with completely valid credentials, their actions are incredibly hard to spot. These threats come in a few types. They can be totally unintentional mistakes, intentional data theft, collusive efforts between multiple people, or risks introduced by a third party. To mitigate this kind of risk, you've got to put strong practices in place. You must monitor online activity, utilize data detection and response or DDR systems to flag unusual behavior, and crucially, have a well-practiced incident response plan ready to deploy.
Finally, we have to address shadow IT. The reality is, this is the use of software or unapproved tools without getting any IT consent. Driven heavily by the demands of remote work, employees often turn to hidden apps just to get their jobs done faster. But here's the problem. This creates severe risks. We're talking data breaches, compliance violations, and honestly, the sheer financial waste of overlapping costs. For solutions, you need proper software asset management to review and analyze what's actually being used, and you need to provide safe, approved alternatives for your team. So, I'll leave you with this crucial question to think about today. Are the digital tools your employees rely on genuinely secure, or is there a shadow network out there right now putting your organization's data at risk?